of us wonder what our flaws are. We hope that we're seen as the intelligent, handsome, funny guy, but at the same time we worry that we're seen as the exact opposite. We're worried that we're seen as the annoying buzzkill. However, unlike most people, I try to look at my flaws from a third person's perspective. Yes, it's incredibly easy to say, who cares what other people think, in order to cope with personal reflection. Granted, you shouldn't be worried about what every single person's opinion is of you, but if even the people close to you are having a negative opinion of you, or people's first impressions is genuinely negative, then maybe it's time to actually take a bit of personal reflection and accountability. If it's some random person online telling you that you suck, this is pretty easy to ignore. However, if it's a family member or a close friend criticizing you, then that criticism is probably valid. One of the things that always gets into my skin that people do is their inability to change, always wanting to stay in the exact same place while at the same time saying that everyone else is the problem. That they say that we're all perfect in our own way, and then they wonder why their life hasn't gone anywhere. So as someone who tries to preach wisdom on the internet, I think it's very appropriate for me to go over my own flaws, how I've learned from them, how I'm growing from them, and how I discovered them in the first place. Now, one flaw that I've had since I was literally like 5 years old is my flaw of talking a lot. I always had a billion things in my mind and I never knew how to just like stop, examine what I was about to say. I just wanted to say whatever was on my mind. Now, sure, I could be a little pity loser and just start staying quiet, and then everybody would be like, Nate, what's wrong? It was me just trying to be a literally me Batman meme. But I actually was able to find a way to utilize it with YouTube. This is now something that I enjoy and love doing because I'm doing something that I really like, at the same time embracing a flaw. Now I have a place to actually vent with YouTube itself. And in the future, I can hopefully even make this monetizable. And even more importantly, I hope that I can actually inspire people with these videos. So in that way, I was able to take something that was a flaw of mine and I was able to transfer it into something that's actually beneficial to me now. But a flaw that has been a little bit harder to monetize and inspire people is my flaw of saying the inappropriate things at the wrong time. And what I mean by this is the fact that when things get a little bit too serious, I'll sometimes crack a joke just so that way everything is a little bit more unserious, I guess is the right word for it. And I realize this is helpful in some situations where there's a lot of stress or a lot of tension, but when things need to be put down and said, this is how we're going to do things, it's not really the appropriate time to say a joke. Or moreover than this is the fact that I know I can have cringe humor sometimes. So when I tell a bunch of jokes, if one of the jokes lands, I'm more likely to just keep repeating that joke over and over again, which makes the joke less funny. Now granted, I've been able to keep my mouth shut a little bit more often, but it's still something that I struggle with. And honestly, awkward interactions that I have are punishment all enough, because when I say something that's cringe or makes light of a situation, my friends or the group of people that I'm just at the time hanging around with are quiet, and that's like the punishment for my cringe humor, is that I get to have a little cringe moment where even I go, that was probably not the right thing to say. But going back to my cringe humor, it's the fact that I know I can be funny. I'm not someone who just constantly thinks that like I'm a Patrice O'Neal or a Tom Segura type. Therefore, when I do find jokes that land, I want to repeat them because I want to keep making people laugh. But the problem with that is, eventually people just call me out on that flaw. Whether it's repeating a Muscle Man impression or repeating jokes that I heard from friends, can get tiresome really, really quickly. But my biggest flaw of all, and this is something that people don't even necessarily see except people that are super close to me, and it's something that I know I incredibly struggle with, is my flaw of overthinking. Whether it be the tiniest bit interaction that I have or something that is going to bring a lot of stress into my life, I'll overanalyze it to the biggest degree. And it's where I realize that my own mind has a million things that are in it, so why not push forward the things and think about the things that are only going to make me better? To push myself forward to mental stability. I try to look for ways to increase the stability of my mind and the mental health. So yes, while you shouldn't be doing this just to appeal to other people, you should still be doing it so that way you make yourself better as a person, and by proxy, you make yourself more appealing to other people. In the end, it's about doing what's right, not just for other people, but mainly for you. Even though this is a shorter video, I think the lessons in it are incredibly important to learn, because I don't want you to go away just thinking that I'm using this video to shit talk myself, and then I want everyone in the comments just to give me a little pity party. So take an actionable step right now. Get out a piece of paper and write down a way that you were flawed yourself. Write how you found it out and write some way that you're going to try and improve it. Sure, you can stay flawed and be like everyone else who already thinks that they're a perfect person, or you can do the better approach of making yourself better. Like I say in every video, it starts with accountability. Scroll down right now, make sure to subscribe, make sure to like, make sure to turn on notifications, make sure to comment, and I'll see y'all shortly. Stay safe, stay smart, and start taking accountability today. Peace.